The FNRad Snowboard podcast is presented by Vans. Before I start this incredible deep cut into the history of snowboarding culture, I want to thank each and every listener for your support of the FNRad podcast for the past 6 seasons. I get paid to do this by sponsors who feel that it's a good investment to reach your ears. You, who's listening right now. So if you can think of someone you know that would love this show, please tell them. And take a quick moment to like and review FNRad wherever you're listening. It really helps. Dano Pendergrassy is a friend of the show whose photography helped build the snowboard culture all around the world. If you've watched the Absinthe Jamie Lynn microdose episodes, you might have seen Dano's photos in there. He's giving away a Jamie Lynn photo to someone who buys a print this month. And to sweeten the deal, he's doing free shipping to everywhere in North America. You can get details on his Instagram or go straight to danopendergrassy.store and use code JUNE2021 at checkout. Dano was there taking pictures of Jamie and a lot of the greats in the golden age. You should have at least one print on your wall. I know I do. And to celebrate all things Jamie Lynn, FNRad will be raffling off an NFT. Non-fungible tokens are buzzing right now in the cryptocurrency world. Dano's got an excellent post about them on his website, so if you're unfamiliar with NFTs, don't worry, so are most people. Basically, I'm making another Jamie Lynn Side Hits episode, and I'm raffling off the rights to half of the authentic original. The other half will be owned by Jamie Lynn himself. All right, so the winner of the raffle will get to choose to keep it private or share it with FNRad listeners through the show. I'll customize the intro to include the winner's name and any messages they want, personal or otherwise. Trust me, if you win this, it's going to be fun. The only way to win will be buying a ticket to the online raffle by sending $20 PayPal or e-transfer payment to fnradpodcast@hotmail.com. 100% of the money raised will be donated to organizations that get underserved youth out skateboarding, snowboarding, and surfing. Let's build a more inclusive board sports culture together. All right, here's the show. Side Hits by FNRad are deep dives into cool moments in snowboarding history, like the first time Jamie Lynn went snowboarding.
You know, I went to this shop, local shop in the town that we grew up in, right outside. It was in Federal Way. I was in Auburn. It was a shop that was called PJ's Ski and Sports. Nice. It was owned by these two stoner dudes, Steve and I can't think his name is Rick and Steve and
he was PJ.
I have no idea who PJ even was.
That's amazing.
I don't even think he skied, you know. But they
right.
I don't even know if they had skis in there. Maybe at one time, but by the time I got there, it was just skateboards.
Rad.
And then a minimal snowboard selection.
Yeah.
And it was in the 80s where rails and fancy grip tape and lappers and mini ribs and stuff was the rage. So when a kid came in and bought a complete setup with all the fixings, I would be the kid in the back of the shop with a drill and T-nuts, rat nuts, trying to figure out how to put on all these attachments.
Rad.
And then they'd pay me like $12 a day or something for hanging out and just being the shop kid. Most of the time they were in the back, you know, taking bong hits while I was tending the till at 14, you know, not knowing shit.
Yeah.
But while I would work there and I'd be behind the counter, I'd look down in the glass case, and in the corner of this glass case was a picture of Rankwit doing a lean air and some half pipe out in Colorado, some contest. He was on a GNU team disco with a Michael Jackson GNU hat on. I think they had gotten Michael Jackson white and black hats and then silkscreen GNU on the underside of the bill for their contest kit.
Rad.
That was like their uniforms at the time, was a Michael Jackson hat with a silkscreen on it. It was perfect. But just working there, I'd always look in the glass and I'd daydream about snowboarding and not really know what it was about, and hadn't had the opportunity to get up and try it for myself. But they had snowboards in the corner of the shop. Instead of getting paid the $12, I said, hey, can you guys let me borrow one of them snowboards for a week or weekend? And got a ride up with some friends of my brother's that were going skiing, and got dropped off by their dad like way too early, like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30. And I had 2 hours before the chairlifts opened to figure it out. So I just hiked up the side of this chair and worked out the kinks of doing it. So when the when the chairlift opened, I was kind of ready to go. I could stay up and not crash too hard. And then I got up to the top of the hill and went down on my very first run, top to bottom at Hyack, up on Snoqualmie Pass. It was called Pac West at the time. Here comes Rankwit, skids down. I'm struggling somewhere in the middle of this cat track, and he slides up and he's like, "Hey, Jamie." He knew me from skateboarding. Said hi, and then he turned around and he went directly at this backside hip and just blasted the biggest method. And I was like, holy shit. One of these days I'm gonna keep doing this until I can do that. That was it. That was everything that my goal in life was to achieve, and he just did it right there, and then I'm not gonna stop until I figure that one out. But going from that 140 back hill snowboard that first day, I finally got enough money to buy my first snowboard, and the first board I chose to get was a GNU 168 Kinetic. It was the green and black board, and it just had the funkiest Elfkin bindings on there. We can cut half of it away and retrofitted with pop rivets, the straps back on there. It was such a junk show. And this board was probably twice as big as I was tall. It was huge, the 168. And
you probably don't ride a 68 now.
No, I don't go over 160. 161 is like maybe 159 up in Alaska if I'm lucky.
That board was massively too big for you.
Massively too big. And somehow I continued riding that thing all through my early junior series days in the Northwest Series contests. Like I went from the green and black one to the purple and pink Kinetic, and didn't until I think I got my first Matt Cummins LibTech. I was riding for GNU up to that point, and then I had to make the choice of going with these new guys that were young and just doing it out of their garage and not really knowing if their future was solid or not. And my other choice was to ride for either Burton or Nitro.
Wow.
And I think Cummins was really influential in just saying, hey, you know what, these guys are doing it right. And that's who I'm going to go with.
Rad.
So if you're riding for the shop, Northwest Snowboards,
right,
you'll get one free board a year, and you'll be riding for LibTech.
Sick.
So
Sick.
That's where it all started.
Oh my God, that's so incredible. That's amazing. Yeah, it's hard to imagine you on Burton. I don't know what that path would have looked like. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I tell you, I couldn't wish it any other way than the way it's been. What an incredible, lucky opportunity to be aligned with the people that I've had the opportunity to become friends and family with over the last 25, 30 years.
And look at Matt's still on there. Matt's still got a pro model. He's got the longest running pro model ever.
He's Matt's huge in my life. He's an awesome cat, and either through One Ball or through Northwest Snowboards, or just being there for us as a team rider and friend on the same company for all these years. It's been him and his brother, amazing humans.
Yeah, that's an incredible story. All right, man, let's get the hell out of here.
Hey, thank you very much for the opportunity to sit and wrap out, man. It's good times.
Have boosted the net worth of my show a bunch of times, and I really love you as a human being. You're a really great storyteller, and I hope that you'll feel comfortable coming back anytime. Just pick up the phone, that you can be on the show anytime.
Well, thank you so much. You really make it easy to lose track of time.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a rare quality, so I appreciate that.
Special thanks to Hagen Mitchell and Craig Williams for the music for Side Hits. Tickets for the NFT, authenticated on the blockchain, are only $20. You can buy one by sending $20 to FNRad podcast at hotmail.com using either PayPal or Interact e-transfer. Thanks for listening.